Hello YouTube. Today I thought I will show you how I made my track I Don't Need Your Love, which is a Future Rave track. It's on my newest album. It's the only Future Rave track I have produced yet and released. So yeah, I'm going to show you how I made it step by step and show you what processing I used and what samples I used and stuff like that. So yeah, let's jump into the project. So this is the project of the song, and it's not a very big project. We only have about 25 tracks, active tracks. We are doing something. So just quickly, let's just hear how it sounds like from the end of the build up to the drop, so you know how the song goes. Alright, let's just start off with the vocal. It is a J Mason vocal that I got on Soundle. A really nice vocal. Sounds like this.
It's almost like I missed you, but I could never let myself forget.
There's some processing on them, so let's just hear it for the vocal alone.
It's almost like I missed you, but I could.
It's just the dry vocal. Then I have some 3D compressor, an OTT, and a reverb to really make it sound really big, which is important in the future rave. So without the reverb, it sounds like this.
It's almost like I missed you, but I could never let myself forget.
And with the reverb,
it's almost like I missed you, but I could never let myself forget.
It's just a completely another feeling the vocal gets when you add the reverb. Then we have these stabs. We have the stabs right here. We have a kick, and then we have like a big brass bass type thing. Just here these are samples from two from Jonas Aiden and one from MJ. With the kick as well, to really give that punch. And then we have the big sound. The iconic Future Rave David Guetta type of sound. And it's, see it here. It's just two isolators, a sub, and some white noise. And I don't think there's much going on except the cutoff is going down with on the envelope 1 here, and then the phase on the noise and the two oscillators and on the pan is going to alpha 1, and it's just going from side to side quickly. The effects is also really simple, just a simple soft clip and then a multiband compression. Let's hear them together. So it really gives that big punch with the kick in the front and the impacts and brass steps, and then the kind of like the synth part of it just keeps it going out in the distance. All these are going to the same mixer bus. We have some OTT, a 3D compressor, who's not really doing much, and a reverb where you only hear like the middle part. It's the only middle part of the frequency that has reverb on, and of course a sidechain for the drop. Let's hear it with the vocal.
It's almost like I missed you, but I could never let myself forget.
It's very empty at the moment, so I've added some atmospheric sound. We have a drone from MJ Ascent. We have an ambient shot from either. another drum for my send. And then we have like this kind of tempo drum. Just some strings. Just to give it a bit more tempo when there's nothing playing. These are all linked to a mixer box where I have a stereo enhancer to really widen the sound. A reverb, a big reverb. You can see I have taken the dry down here to almost 50%. Without that, it just makes the sound go way back in the background, and you don't hear a lot of things. You just hear some of the things. And then a kickstart for the drop as well. So altogether, the first part sounds like this.
It's almost like I missed you, but I can't. Never let myself forget all my love you misused, so I won't play your games.
And then in the second part, the notes change up here. The start is two times a G, and then it goes down to a D sharp and a F. And also together with that, there comes these chords and that follows the root note. Just a simple saw with a bit of detune on it. No effects or anything. And only has like a kickstart, so it's really just a simple, just to fill it out to give a bit more room in the mix. Sounds like this with it all.
And all the times I feel something, there's a voice in the back of my head telling me to keep running, 'cause all that you are is regret. No.
Now we come to the fun part. We have a reverse effect for the lead, which is actually pitched up 2 semitones because I changed the arrangement of the track to be 2 semitones higher in the scale. We have the lead, which is it's being controlled by these two down here. One for the decay, one for the release. It's only 2 layers, pretty simple layers. This is the main layer. It's just a saw wave with some white noise and distortion and compression. And then together with that, I made this sine wave kind of lead. It's just the same, but instead of a saw wave, I have a sine lead. Just to give it a bit more on the low end, because the main lead is very good at the high, but needed some bit more lows, so I added this. It's not easy to hear, but it's there. So what this is doing right here is it's opening up, making the sound really big. And then coming back down for the drop to sound normal. In this part, when the melody is introduced, I have cut away the vocal, and then it will come back in the build-up. So let's hear the track so far.
No.
So now we have the vocal coming in for the build-up. We have a riser. From MHA Ascend. Then we have some drop claps. Also MHA Ascend. And they're just playing the same. And I think this snare is also from Ascend. Yeah, pop snare 5. it's getting pitched up 12 semitones. Then we have this pre-drop fill, which is two things together. Let's just hear the one thing. This is a sick fill, but I'm only taking the first part. It sounds like this originally. It has this like DJ scratchy kind of thing. At the end I cut that off and put a lot of reverb on it. As you can see, the decay time is almost 10 seconds, and just made it insanely long, but not very wide, so it's kind of, it stays in the center. Then we have like this sub kind of thing that I got from a Limitless remake. Sounds like this. And together. So let's hear the final build-up. So now we move on to the drop. First thing, just the melody is just the same. It has sidechain on now. Yeah. Nothing really special going on at all. Then we have this mid bass, reach bass type of thing coming in. Which is just a simple two oscillators with a wave, which is detuned, and I've got most of the highs, bit higher dimension, and it goes to this mixer bus. We have some OTT, through the compressor, a sausage fattener by Frank Paul. This is like a patcher plugin. So it's basically like sausage fattening, but it's not sausage fattening. You know what I mean? So it's Frank Paul. He imitates the plugin. Then we have just a similar EQ and the kickstart for the sidechain. Then we have a kick. Kick 4 from my upcoming simul pack. Then we have the chords and the bass from the intro. Nothing really special going on there, just some sidechain. Then we have a few downlifters. And then we have some white noise playing every time the snap comes in. So the first time it plays the whole note, and the other time it just plays short one. And then we have the atmospheric sounds as well. There's sidechain. There's no sidechain on the effects up here. Just to, if you make everything have sidechain, or at least the same amount of sidechain, it will get a really bouncy, and I don't like that. So having these type of things not have sidechain, it is the way to just make the track like flow, and not have like that ducking effect every time. I think that's pretty much it. At the end of the first part of the drop, we have the snares coming in, and the fill as well. And then we have some hi-hats coming in. We have a closed hi-hat with a kickstart on it. And then we have an open hi-hat. and together with the kick. Let's hear the drop.
I don't need your love. I don't need your love. I don't need your love.
And then the melody just goes on and on. It goes down. Don't hear that at the start. So I have on this part, it plays the same melody. Then it changes it up here and here to follow the bass notes. So the second part is follows the arrangement is close to what the first part has. We have the brass steps, we have the chords and the bass here, and we have the atmospheric loop. There's a few changes. For example, the drop clap comes in 8 bars before the build-up comes in, and also the melody is changed for the second drop. So the melody sounds like this in the build-up, and it changes again in the drop.
Up on us, now your time is up. I don't need anything now. I don't need your love. I don't need your love. I don't need your love.
And then instead of like going straight from the build-up into the drop, we have like this the lead playing with the high decay and high release, and then it comes down right before the drop comes in.
I don't need your love.
And the drop melody sounds like this. So it's the same as before. It follows the rhythm of the basses, but it also follows the old melody. It's just cut up a bit more and a bit more slowed down. In the bass section, we have a sub bass coming in that sounds like this. So it plays in between the notes of the lead. It's not very easy to hear, but it's in there just to give it a bit more, make it a bit more interesting and making something happen. If effect is almost the same. For the ambience, I've taken it all out except the one shot, ambient shot here. Let's just hear the drop real quick. And then you can see here the open hi-hat comes in the second part, and then the vocal and the pre-fill here, build-up fill, and the lead changes an octave higher or in the pre-drop fill, and it also does that for the second part of the drop. The kick is the same for the second part. The cymbals is all the same. Atmospheric comes in here, it's the same. So the only thing that's really changed is the melody, and there's another sub bass on the second part.
I don't need your love. 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 I don't need your love.
So that was it. That was how I made my track I Don't Need Your Love feature Rave track. Go listen to it on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, iTunes, wherever you are listening to it. If it is a streaming platform specific for your country, it's not on there. Sorry, I wish it were, but all the international known streaming services, you can find it there. And if you like this kind of content where I go through my tracks or something similar, then let me know in the comments and smash the like button, subscribe. I'll see you soon.